Do you know any lineup changes tonight?
Just the goalie.
As the calendar flips to February, the old cliche is that things get tougher, physicality ramps up and everything else. Do you feel like your team is meeting that challenge and doing the same?
Well, I just think the league is so good. Every night it's a challenge, right? I mean, every team is if you do look at standings, there's so many teams are in it. It's there's grinding every night, and I think it's a tough league. So you got to be prepared every night to play, and I think it's been like that right from the start.
Does it ramp up though as you get closer to the finish line and people are trying to get every point they can possibly get?
Well, I think everybody's playing hard at this time of year. I just think everybody's game is good. Obviously, we always talk about consistency. I think every team's trying to get consistent, and you've had a lot of time to kind of dial in your system stuff and hopefully the work ethic is there for our hockey club and give ourselves a chance to have success.
You get another one of those heavy teams tonight. How do you match up against that?
Well, we have to play a more determined game than we played the other night in the first period in Utah. They won a lot of the puck battles that we talked about and some of the the races, and we've got to bring our competitive level early. This is obviously a great team that we're playing tonight. So if we're going to have success, our compete level has to be pretty high.
You mentioned dialing in your system. This recent stretch, probably a month or so, where you guys have played, I think it's fair to say, a tighter, a more sound defensive structure. Did you change anything, or is that just guys getting more acclimated to the system?
Yeah, I think it's the we've talked about this before. Is not even the buy-in. It's just getting more consistent in how we play the game. I mean, there's a lot. There's not less teaching, but there's not as much, repetitive teaching that we're doing because the guys do understand how we need to play. We've had a large, sample of it, so they're able to look back and go, okay, we've had success because we play like this. And we've talked about this before, is that they are teaching themselves a lot of times and making the adjustments on the bench and on the fly, which is exciting for us as a coaching staff.
Did you dial anything back? Did you tweak? Did
As far as systematically, no. It's just a matter of, I think your point is right, is that it's just taken some time to really understand exactly what we are all looking for. And when I say we, it's not the coaching staff looking, every team has their systems. If everybody buys into that system, then you're going to have better success or a better opportunity to have success. If a couple of guys are on their own page, then it's difficult. So our guys have made each other accountable, so that helps a lot.
Did you know JVR was coming back into the game?
Yeah. They originally said he'll be back. It's just a matter of getting the teeth out of his face, his cheek, and so that or getting it to a position where he doesn't rip it up, right? Like you get a situation like that, and a lot of us don't have our natural teeth. You don't want to tear your mouth up even more because of jagged teeth and stuff. So they wanted to make sure it was safe for him to come back. Talked to him this morning. He was able to eat some soft food and some shakes and what have you. So his energy level, he said, was good. So, credit. As we said after the game, hockey players are unique in how tough they are and their pain threshold, and he showed that the other night.
What's going on in your head in the first two periods of last game? Where were you at?
Well, the first period we weren't very happy. We went in after the first period and we challenged the guys to bring their level up, their compete level. And we knew Utah had their statistically they were great in the first period. But every team's going to come out, especially in their building, hard. We need to have at least a match here tonight and or above that in order to set ourselves up for the rest of the evening.
You were patient with your group, like you could see what you wanted to see on the bench.
Yeah, we were in position. We were just losing those battles, right? Like we were in a position to win that puck battle, but they were winning it, and or a couple of races, and they were on their toes. One of the reasons why we're skating here this morning with a 5 o'clock game. Obviously, we had yesterday off, but we wanted just to get their juices going here early. Hopefully, that leads into the start tonight.
It seemed like that third line and fourth line the last two games kind of set a tone for you guys.
Who are those guys?
Well, the Danforth line
Okay.
and then the Corrali line.
Okay.
Good, just offensive zone shifts.
Yeah, they were, and I think that's whenever any line goes out, I don't care which one you want to label. If we didn't have success as far as scoring, you want to gain momentum and have that next line roll out there into the offensive zone and continue their, our energy and our aggressiveness in their zone as opposed to our zone. So we think all our lines have done a good job of that as of late.
But it's good to have that line to throw out there. Like, are you going to that for?
It's good to have consistent. The other night, who did we play before Utah? Yeah, we just rolled four. Like we only flipped off once, maybe we put an offensive face-off group out there, but after that, it's so nice to have four lines that you can just roll. And obviously we were playing with 11 and 7 for a bit, so it was maybe a little bit more difficult, taxing some people. But to have four lines, you can feel confident that whoever comes over the boards is going to get the job done, both defensively and momentum offensively. It's a positive thing.
The physicality of the game, they say, ramps up as you get closer to the finish line, right? And here we flipped to February now. Do you guys need to ramp up to match the physicality that everybody else is going to bring, or do you think you're right where you guys need to be?
I think we're matching. I think the Vegas game was a good component of that. They're a big and heavy team. Obviously, when you go out west, that classic, you play a heavier game. So I think we matched up pretty well against them. And then on the back-to-back, obviously we didn't have our best game, but I think when it was time to rise up to the occasion, we did and start winning some battles and stuff. So we've proven that we can match their physicality and stuff. We just, I think being a young team, having a lot of guys that are more skilled, that's something that they've learned over the past couple of seasons, and they're doing a really good job at it.
You're going to get another one tonight, right? I mean, this is a historically heavy team, especially in their own building. You got to, again, take it to that level.
Right, 100%. And like I said, this Western Conference is bigger, heavier. You got to adjust your mindset, thinking it's going to be more of a grind. And honestly, those two games, Vegas and Utah, were both grinds. And I thought we did a good job, like I said, of rising to the occasion. Dallas is obviously a very high-end team. They've been really good for years. They played the right way, so it's going to be another good test for us to prove that we belong in that category.
Dean said he brought you guys in this morning specifically to kind of get your juices flowing and make sure things are ready. Everybody's ready to go at the first drop of the puck. Does that work? Do you think that's a good strategy for making sure you're ready to go?
Yeah, I think so. I personally like to get active, and I have a hard time when we don't skate on game days just to get going. That's me personally. Yeah. Some guys prefer to stay completely off, save the legs, as they say. Yeah. I guess it's to each their own, but personally, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.